Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome back. Today I'm reviewing the flagship premium cigar from Cuban crafters. This is the Medina 1959, and this is the Torpedo 6x52. Just a really pretty shade, reddish brown wrapper. There's the band. I'm going to give you a close-up of it now. Very simple but elegant at the same time. Here is your density. Now, I don't actually know a lot about what this cigar is comprised of. This is what their website says. Cuban seed Habano long filler and binder, aged 6 years, and a super premium Cuban seed wrapper that is aged at least 5 years. That's really all I know. But this is a very good looking cigar. Not much else to say except I'm eager to get to it. Cuban Crafters in Miami. I visited their place, and it's a very large cigar shop. So these are made right there in Miami. So let's get right to it. The Medina 1959 Torpedo. One thing I like to do is to expose you to new cigars you may not be familiar with. Possibly this is one. Cuban Crafters is a large cigar company making a lot of their own brands. So you might want to check out their website, and a link will be on the blog also to these cigars. Now this is a very sharp pointed Torpedo. Very well made. I really like that look. So I want to take off. I'm going to start taking off just a little. And let's check the draw. That's a little bit firm. I'm actually going to take a little more, and this is okay. You get it to the point where you can have the best draw. Oh, that's much better. Well, that's what we're down to. Now, I did take off a fair amount, but you do want to get a good draw. That's a very good light there. There's some nice little citrus tones. There's some cream. There's a little dry wood. There appears to be red pepper and a little black pepper. Red pepper is always neat. It's really cool to get red pepper in a cigar's taste. Just a little bit of a citrus, sort of like a tangerine type citrus with a little sweetness and a little cream note to it. So that's how we're starting, and it's got a nice flavor. Although they don't say what the tobaccos are, to me, I'm getting a little taste of Nicaraguan. So I don't know. Somebody can tell me if I'm right or wrong or whatever, but I do believe that's a Nicaraguan flavor. But regardless, nice start. So let's see where the Medina 1959 Torpedo goes from here. About an inch in, and flavor is about like we said. I would add a little lower level coffee in there too. The red pepper is nice. Cream notes are very subdued, but they just take a little of the edge off of the citrus notes. No secret that I like citrus notes in a cigar. This is really appealing. The red pepper is very appealing. There is a little mix of black pepper also. If you can distinguish them both. The finish is a toasted cream. A little nice lingering pepper on the finish, which makes it nice. I would call the cigar medium bodied right now. That's about it, which is nice, which is middle of the road, but it has some nice flavors. Ash, pretty dark, really. More darker notes than light notes. So that's where we are. What about 15 minutes or so in? About a ½ inch further. So I call it, we're closer. We're almost 2 inches in. And the sweetness is really picked up. Citrus notes are really nice and sweet now. And you can also add nutmeg in there now. So that makes me even more convinced this is Nicaraguan tobacco. Probably Nicaraguan Habano. Don't know. But it has a nice sweetness. You have your citrus, you have your nutmeg, have just a little underlying cream. Coffee notes as a base. The dry wood that I spoke about initially is, if it's still there, it's very subtle. Finish is a little sweeter cream now. Still has a little toasted note to it. Maybe a few notes of, well, let's go with that. Toasted cream with some nice sweetness and a little lingering pepper. So that's where we are. Maybe close to 2 inches. Well, I'm almost at the band, and the wood notes are back. You can really pick up the wood notes now. Sort of lost them there in the last segment, but they're back now. Everything else is about the same. I wanted to tell you a little about this cigar, if you can take just a minute of your time. These were blended by Manuel Medina, which is where the name Medina comes from. 1959 is, of course, the year that Castro took over Cuba. Here's a picture of Manuel Medina. Now, interesting thing, if you go to the Cuban Crafters website and the page on these cigars, the Torpedos, are actually made by a lady named Sonia Olivia Rodriguez. Now, the picture, she doesn't look to be that old. She's a nice looking lady. It says she has been rolling cigars 22 years and is a Torpedo expert. She rolled the Monte Cristo No. 2 cigars in Havana, and came a few years ago, came to Miami and started rolling for Cuban Crafters. If we go back to Mr. Medina, he has an interesting history. He started as a roller in the H. Upman factory in Cuba, and eventually became the factory's master roller, and then was promoted to master cigar maker in Cuba's Davidoff factory. So both very high-level Cuban experts, thus the name Cuban Crafters. So that's where we are. We're about 43 minutes in at this point. Well, we're down to the end, so let's wrap it up. This has been a very good cigar. This is a very good, you could smoke this every day. Some very nice flavors. I really like the citrus, the nutmeg, the wood notes, nice coffee base. The pepper, actually, I forgot to tell you, I rated it about a 7.5, and that's about a 7.5 split between red and black pepper. Finish has very nice flavors, nice lingering pepper there. Medium bodied, I would say over the course of the cigar, medium bodied. These cigars, interestingly enough, are not overly inexpensive. The one interesting point, they actually sell these in an unbanded version, which they call fresh from the roller's table, for $5 a piece. But by and large, this cigar that I'm showing you today, with the band, and I don't know anything that's different about it other than the band, but They're roughly $10 a piece. So an easy way to try them would be the unbanded version. I don't know that they are any different, but thought I'd point that out to you. Very good cigar, Cuban Crafters Premier line, and well worth it. For me, I'm rating it a 91. Very, very good cigar, and I hope you try them. Links to the site are on the blog. So there you have it, the Medina 1959 Torpedo.